to Take a Look. Pixar Animation's first streaming series is a home run. We'll take a swing at win or lose. Fans and critics alike agree they've hit it out of the park. Daredevil, Born Again, is exactly that on Disney+. Daredevil and Kingpin sit down with me to work things out.
You get these people off our streets now.
It's not that simple.
No Address is now playing. Billy Baldwin, Ashante, and the cast join us to talk about this timeful, poignant drama.
Building something special.
Want to talk drama? WWE Legends and Future Greats is now streaming. One of the legends is our guest.
The Duck.
That's right, the duck.
And they're back. Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up, is in theaters. Experts agree it's a must-see, especially Marvin the Martian. So let's meet the creators as we take a look. Look. Let's do exactly that. What, did you see that? This is a star-studded show. I don't deserve to be here. All the gamuts covered, from WWE wrestling to a poignant series. We got Looney Tunes, and speaking of Looney, we got comedian Steph Sanders. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. Good to be seen.
All right, we were just talking about Win or Lose. It's brand new to Disney Plus. It's a Disney Pixar combo, and you said you were emotional about it.
I was invested in this, like a drama. Like I'm sitting up in bed, like invested in the characters, the plot. It was amazing.
Yeah, like what's crazy, he talks about binging it the way you talk about binging Breaking Bad.
Exactly, right.
And truly, it is the most revolutionary thing I've seen. And also, Pixar, it's hard to one-up a Pixar because whatever they do is typically really good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But don't you agree this is kind of next level?
This is next level. You always think of quality when it comes to Pixar, but this is like quality plus. It's just ridiculous. I can't wait to see what they do next. This is a great project.
No kidding. I was foaming at the mouth about it with the creators. Take a look.
I'm just trying to get you a coffee.
Got my coffee.
Oh, God, I can't believe this happened again. Oh, nobody laugh at Frank and stare at Frank. He's like a younger brother to me, you guys.
Good to see you guys.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
David, Carrie, Michael, I know who you are. For the people at home who don't, introduce yourselves.
I'm David Lally. I'm the producer of Win or Lose.
I'm Michael Yates. I'm one of the directors and co-writers of Win or Lose.
I'm Carrie Hobson. I'm the other writer-director of Win or Lose.
It's rare, like I can't cite anything that has been effective in my life showing paradigm shift. Like you will absolutely loathe, I'm not going to plot spoil, but you will loathe characters in this movie that you walk away loving, a series that you walk away loving.
Yeah.
That's very judgmental of you.
I'm sorry, I was a little judging. But I mean, I think in real life we all are. So this is a movie that is relentlessly funny, but at the same time makes the world a better place because I think everybody's going to think these things.
Yeah, I think we kind of approached it from just this perspective of we wanted to make this show where you get an opportunity to walk a mile in someone else's shoes and you take a second to think about someone before you judge the person next to you. And that's kind of, we structured the entire structure of the show, each episode kind of revealing things from another perspective based off of that.
Is this happening?
Tonight is our moment for redemption.
Better not blow it.
It is so good. So
Incredible.
this series, each episode is the same period of time from a different perspective.
Yes.
It's as though Pixar and Quentin Tarantino got together.
Exactly. It was incredible. And one of my favorites was Rochelle, that episode, because in the first instance, you don't like her, and then you realize her backstory, and you're like, feel sorry for a lover, want to hug her. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Mine the same was like the mom, because all of a sudden you don't like the mom. You do not like her at all until you get her perspective, and all of a sudden you love the mom.
Yes, exactly. Everybody, you loved everybody at the end of their perspective. And it almost was like you knew somebody in real life who was like that.
So true. Same way I turned you onto this and you loved it, you turned me on to Daredevil, and indeed, I love it. I'm sorry I missed it on Netflix, but now let's keep this Disney Plus love going because it is now Born Again there. We'll catch up with the cast and crew. Daredevil and Kingpin next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. We talk about stuff that's at the movies or in your home and streaming series, thus the streaming series du jour. Daredevil Born Again is crushing it.
Yes. I was so excited about this.
You raved about it back when it was on Netflix, and then, like, who would have thought it would disappear from Netflix and then be reborn?
And come back better. It is so, I'm like, this is edge of your seat madness. This is crazy. Every episode is like a movie. I love this.
It's so good. It gets you in the first 5 minutes. If you wonder whether Disney is going to water it down because it's Disney, au contraire, they don't. Got up with the originals, Charlie and Vincent, to talk about it. Take a look. I'm trying to contain myself. I'm such a fan of the product, and I've been so looking forward to this, and also representing that fan base that is worried. Is it going to come over and go the right direction? It does. Like, did the pages jump out at you when you started to see the new scripts and the direction from script?
Well, it's been a journey.
Yeah.
You've maybe read, there was a kind of a false start. We did some episodes, and then the writers and actors strikes happened.
Sure.
And the amazing thing about working for a company like this is how willing and able they are to, given the opportunity, look at what they've got and be honest about whether it's working or not. And the truth was, it wasn't quite. And I applaud them so much, and I'm so grateful to them that when we came back after the strikes, there was a reset, there was a pivot.
And once we got that first, script, we were delighted.
Yeah,
and very excited.
And I don't want to plot spoil, but like within the first 15 minutes, this thing rips your heart out, shoves it back in, and puts you on the edge of the seat.
Yeah,
and I love the level of commitment.
Good.
Well, I think we've been away for 6 years. You got to come back with a bang, haven't you? You got to do something unexpected. You got to move people's emotions. And,
but this is a big.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Is there a particular day where you remember on the day? Because in comic book movies, so much of it, you don't really know how it's going until all the composites come together. But a day that on the day, you said, I can't wait for people to see this because it was landing so spectacularly.
Well, I don't know that we knew how well it was landing, but we knew when we were doing the diner scene that it was potentially iconic. Dario wrote this awesome scene. When he came in and he wrote the new pilot, they had this idea, which was, why don't we do something we've never done before? Why don't we bring these two characters together early on, and in a way that we haven't seen them before? And we then went into almost a whole morning of rehearsal, and in that rehearsal, Vincent and I talked about the idea of going even a step further and saying, what if these, despite their histories, despite their hatred for one another, despite how much they blame the other one for so much that's wrong, what if in there somewhere there is also some kind of kinship or friendship or some kind of respect? And that ended up with us finding a moment of levity in that scene where there's kind of laughter. And it before it turns, if you turn on that scene and you've never seen another scene of Daredevil, you would presumably think that they're friends.
Yeah.
And that's it, with all the stuff we've shot in the past and everything that's happened between those characters, it just felt so different and fresh and iconic, and it was so much fun to do.
There's so many psychological plates spinning in that scene. Actors will study that scene forever. Cheers, gentlemen. Yeah, truly. I mean, you talk about a series that's based on action, but that scene where they're just sitting here tete-a-tete in that diner, actors are going to study that. It's such a great scene.
Classic, like Casino, anything else. That was classic.
What a risk. So many fans like you that love the Netflix series very much and turned people like me onto it were worried that this thing wasn't going to work. They put it in the hands of Brad Winterbaum. And I know you at home, you're going, the Brad Winterbaum? You don't know who he is, but he is pretty much in control of anything that is Marvel comic. He is the powerhouse, lots riding on it. I talked to him about it. Look, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mike.
And congrats on this.
Thanks, sir.
You, not to sound comic cliche, but with great power comes great responsibility. You have shaped so much of MCU. Talk about how this is different, new challenges and new gains and wins.
Well, what I love about Daredevil Born Again is that New York is a character in the story. I mean, so much of Marvel comics, so much of the characters, they owe their stories to this city, and this show highlights the city in a way where it really becomes a character in its own right. It's like a kingdom where people are struggling for power, and we're watching. It's just an exciting story.
People that loved what it was on Netflix, they're going to love how fresh it is. But at the same time, some might be fearful that it might be watered down or mixed up. And I tell them, no, this is everything you hope it's going to be.
I mean, every time we were afraid that we were hitting the limit of what we'd be allowed to do, we were able to push it further, further, and further. And I can tell you, we never found the limit. We go to places in this show that are important to the storytelling, but I never dreamed we'd be able to go.
Brad Winterbaum, that guy bet his entire career on Thor Ragnarok, and all the better for it. That says who he is. C, Daredevil, born again because?
Look at me. They get it right. Action, plot, story, graphics, acting, everything perfect.
Exactly. There you go. Disney Plus now streaming right now. All right, coming up, they also get it right with No Address. This is a movie, I've never heard of this, donating 50% of its proceeds back to its exact cause, trying to get people off the streets. We will talk with the creators and the people behind it, Billy Baldwin and Ashante, next. Oh, hey, there you are. Welcome back to Take a Look. I'm Marcus Allen, world-famous comedian Steph Sanders. If you're watching on AFN right now, we thank you. 177 different countries and territories worldwide. People are serving the USA. We salute you, and we thank you.
Amazing.
We also want to thank the producers, the creators of No Address. It's a movie now playing. It's doing quite well. 50% of its proceeds go back to help out people that are unhoused and help the cause.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
All kinds of people jumped aboard the cast once they found this was being made. First up was Billy Baldwin, and then he called around, and then Ashante jumped in.
Yeah.
Not the appropriate time to talk about your crush on Ashante, but I did talk to him about her brand new baby boy and her addition to American Idol. And then this, take a look. Beautiful work from you. Beautiful work from you. For you, congratulations on a number of things. Baby boy. Yeah. American Idol.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And this film.
Amazing.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
What does it mean for you to be in a movie that's more than a movie? It's a movement.
It's absolutely movement. It's so important. I'm so happy and so honored to be a part of this project. It's just touching, you know, when you can be a part of something that actually could change lives and make a huge change and an impact, you know, so I'm really, really grateful. This character is something completely different for me, and my fans haven't seen me like this, so I'm really, really happy to be playing something that, again, could touch people and make a change, so.
Awesome. And your reputation is solid from the get-go. You're unwavering. But people, even on the set, saw you transform and lean into this a little bit more with each day that went by. Why?
The social message impact of the film that we're making, Hollywood has a tremendous, as much as we sort of quibble over it and we argue about it, it really does have a very significant impact when you look at television, film, recording artists. You look at the impact that Taylor Swift just had on the economy over the last year and a half. You know what I mean? We have a very big impact, and to wield that as constructively as possible and as responsibly as possible when you're making a film about homelessness and mental health and fentanyl is a nice sweet spot for Hollywood, and where I'd like to continue to find ourselves moving forward, doing more projects like this.
So good in this movie. They are great. Xander Berkeley, if you're a huge Walking Dead fan, you know him from that. He's in it. Ty Pennington from so many different things. So many different house flip models. Not just Extreme Home Makeover, but his whole career dedicated to help people getting up in the world.
Fantastic. Amazing. And 50% of proceeds going to homeless people, unhoused. That's fantastic. But I never expect anything less from Ashanti.
Yeah, you've been a fan for a long time. I grew up in hip-hop and R&B, so I'm a fan as well. I chased her down on the set and never got to see her on set. I kept bumping into Billy Baldwin. In fact, he put me in a scene.
Yeah.
Did you see?
That's right. Yeah, you were art imitating life, life imitating art, the bartender.
Yeah, I've been around bars. Yeah. I knew a little something. So how'd I do?
I mean, it was great. It was like sort of like Pee Wee Herman when he's in his movies.
No, that's the word. I look like that? I kind of did look like that. Exactly. Paging Mr. Herman. You have a call at the front desk. Look, the funny thing about it is that I've been in my own movies, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of know what's going on, and I'm not been out of shape or worried about anything. When you're thrown into that moment unexpectedly, and Billy Baldwin's next to you, I was a little geeked out. I was watching his performance the whole time.
I applaud you. You did a great job.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm much more comfortable on the other side of the counter, as it turns out. All right, so much going on. Coming up, WWE Legends and Future Greats. Who would you rather talk to, a future great or a legend?
Legend.
Good. We got a big legend coming up in a moment. Also, Looney Tunes, their new movie. The jury is in discussion right now whether it's good or bad. We'll bring in an expert to talk about The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, and more next. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with the final stretch of Take a Look. It's my good friend, comedian Steph Sanders.
My man.
Where do we find you on Instagram?
I am Steph Sanders everywhere, and barely tall enough to it. I am Steph Sanders.
No, you're not lying. He's actually shown actual height. You have no idea. Like, I'm 10 feet tall. That puts you at 6. Is that right? Is that right?
Right.
All right. So let's talk about future greats, legends and future greats. WWE now has a show like no other. If you're a big fan of wrestling, and I think your wrestling fandom cut off about where?
About The Rock, John Cena, Junkyard Dog back then, yeah.
Yeah, kind of same here. Mickie James was coming up right at that time. She is one of the judges, one of the coaches on this show, and we talked. Look.
What I love about it is that, we take for granted all the grueling training that it takes. Like, this takes you there, and it shows you.
It really does. And you kind of get this raw aspect of what it takes into going try to be a WWE superstar. And also, I think you get to know all of these coaches as well as the talent, and you start to get really connect with them and hopefully root for your favorite. But with the coaches as well, you can see them in a whole different light that you probably haven't seen them before.
The coach is typically not your favorite person. If they are, they're probably not coaching you hard enough. So what's the hardest part about being a coach?
I think that you hit the nail on the head there, because I am so sensitive, and I'm obviously the only woman of the group, and being a mom, and also I think about it and I go, like, I really connect with a lot of these hopefuls because I've been there. I've been in their shoes before, and I know what that journey's like, and it's difficult, and it can be a long one, and you're constantly testing yourself and questioning yourself. We get a little tough on them, and it really tests them. I think it even tests me because I'm like, I feel bad. You feel bad. I go back, after a day, and I'm going, ooh, I was kind of rough on them today. Like, I shouldn't have been so tough on them, because I am sensitive, and I'm aware of like, it hits hard sometimes, So, yeah, try not to be too soft.
Too soft, she says. Mickie James, legends and future greats. She is one of my favorite things about the show. If I was trying to step in that ring, she is the coach I would want on my side.
I agree. I'm also wondering why you never been in celebrity wrestling like this. Why don't you have you?
Because
you need to be doing this.
I ripped a hamstring just walking across the parking lot today. This is why it's not happening. I love that it's stripped down. Check it out right now on A&E. All right, moving along. Looney Tunes are back on the big screen, and there is a big debate about this.
Yeah, big debate.
Let me bring in our correspondent. He is our correspondent to all things animation. His name is Action Jackson. Jackson, if you would introduce yourself.
Hey, Mark and Steph, it's Jackson Murphy, Lights Camera Jackson here with you. So excited to talk about this new Looney Tunes movie hitting the theaters. Fans have been waiting for this forever.
Got it. He's in New York. I don't know if this is an East Coast, West Coast thing, but two of us are not so on board.
Yeah.
Why should we like this? Because I'll tell you off the top, one of the things I have a big problem with is something that you talked to the director about. You've got two Looney Tunes characters that aren't trying to kill each other, and I miss that friction.
Yeah.
What say you?
It's Eric Bauza voicing both of them, Daffy and Porky, who team up with Petunia to try to prevent an evil alien invader from taking over the world using gum for mind control. It's that zaniness that you love from the Looney Tunes cartoons that the director Peter Braungart worked on, the classic Looney Tunes cartoons as well. The voice work, the animation, it's fast-paced, it's energetic, it's very self-aware. The diehard fans are going to love this. Trust me, you are going to really enjoy The Day the Earth Blew Up.
All right, now that's the sale. You talked to the director about the aforementioned problem that I have. It came up. Take a look.
What really goes into structuring a feature with the Looney Tunes characters as opposed to the shorts that you've been a part of through the Looney Tunes cartoons?
It couldn't just be 90 minutes of just jokes and gags. It had to have an emotional story. It had to have an emotional core. Porky and Daffy, as the leads of the film, jumped out early on because They're kind of the only Looney Tunes characters that don't want to kill each other. They're not hunting each other.
All right. Now that's it. They don't want to kill each other. Now look, Jackson, you know I'm a nice guy. Steph, am I a nice guy?
Nice guy.
I'm
Very
a pacifist.
Nice guy.
I don't like conflict. However, the cartoons I grew up with, they were killing each other to the point that Itchy and Scratchy on The Simpsons are based on the stuff I grew up with. I like it when characters are trying to kill each other in animation.
There's a little conflict. They butt heads a little bit as the movie goes on, but it's a fun journey. It's an epic journey for these characters. It's an origin story also for these characters. They lived together, they grew up together, and now on this journey of a lifetime, and for a new generation of kids to be exposed to the Looney Tunes characters in this way, in this hand-drawn, fully featured way, I think it's wonderful.
Your Honor, I'm done with the witness. Any follow-up questions?
Maybe. Why did they choose space for this? Did he say that? Why?
I think they like space. I think they like this concept of disaster movie, those iconic titles, and of course space. Look at Space Jam. Look at what the Looney Tunes have done with that. And I still hope that Coyote versus Acme movie eventually gets released as well.
I'm waiting on that.
Lights, camera, Jackson. Thanks for being our guest. Where can we find you online?
X at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, and the website is lights-camera-jackson.com. I'll see you guys at the movies. Thank you.
There you go. See you when you're on the West Coast. See you when you're on the West Coast. I'll see you when I'm back on the East Coast. We inducted that kid into the Critics' Choice Awards when he was like 8, so it's always weird when we bring him up because I expect to see that kid. And all of a sudden, hey, how are you? Yeah.
And now you got the shadow.
I love the Looney Tunes. Let me tell you, they're the best. No, I like that guy's great. He's won me over. I'm going to go back and watch it again. I did like seeing it on a big format.
Yep.
It's rare that you see Looney Tunes on the big screen, so for that reason, go see him that way.
Okay, I agree. I'm going to wait for you to call me and tell me it's great.
All right, it's great. Favorite Looney Tune? Lightning round.
Got to be Porky.
Porky, for me, it's Marvin the Martian, so we're back in space. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out. Follow us on YouTube. Be sure and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Take a Look.